Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Layers TV. My name is RC.
And I'm Corey Barker.
And we're brought to you by Layers Magazine, the how-to magazine for everything Adobe.
That's
Available
on newsstands everywhere, and of course at layersmagazine.com.
So, what do we got this week?
We are back, and I actually got an email from Chris Main, our managing editor of Layers Magazine right here, and it was from a user referring to the tutorial I just did in this issue. It was an Illustrator tutorial. And what I did in the tutorial was use some of the preset shapes or symbols that are inside of CS4. And this individual did not have CS4. I was wondering how can they generate that particular type of shape even if they don't have CS4. And I was like, well, there's a quick and easy way to do that. And that's what I'm going to show here is, first off, we're going to jump into Photoshop and create a new document. And we'll just make it 10 by 10 at 100 pixels per inch. There we have it. Now, I want to make sure that I've got my default color set. So I'm just going to hit my D key on the keyboard. And there we have it, straight black and white. Then, we're going to go into the filter menu, go down here to render, and choose clouds. Now, it gives me a pretty even cloud distribution here, but I'm going to undo that because here's one thing I'm going to add to this. If you add your Option key or Alt key, as you apply that render clouds, you get much more contrasting clouds right there, as you can see right there.
That is the super secret bonus tip.
And also, if you hold down Option Command and hit the F key, you can get more distribution of clouds every time because it does it differently every time. So
that's the super secret tip. So awesome. I love it. Go ahead, continue.
I shall. All right, so now I'm going to go over here into my toolbar and grab the gradient tool, and inside the gradient editor we're going to choose the second icon here, which is the foreground to transparent, perhaps my favorite gradient. Going to switch my colors so the white is in the foreground here, and I'm just going to come in from each side of the square and basically give a white fade to the edges because I don't want really hard edges on my graphic as I apply it. So there it is. Now what we're going to do is go into the filter menu once more. This time go to Pixelate and choose Color Halftone. Now by default you can see that this has got a whole bunch of scattered numbers in here. All we're going to do here is simply go into each channel and set it to 0. Tab through, set each one to 0. Here in the max radius, this number gets to be a little tricky sometimes. You're never quite sure what you're going to get depending on what you do because it's a little disappointing there's no preview button here. One of the few filters that doesn't have one. But it's just a matter of trying, depending on the resolution of your file and the dimensions of your file, this number could be very different. Here in this case, I'm going to use a max radius of 10 pixels. And we'll click OK. You can see I'm giving me a nice, cool grunge pattern like that. So now we're pretty much done inside Photoshop. So let's go here and save this document out. We'll call it dots, just something simple. As a Photoshop PSD onto my desktop, and we're done inside of Photoshop for now. So now let's jump over to Illustrator, create a new document here, and we're going to go into the File menu, go down here to Place, locate that file, there it is right on the desktop, place it in here, and there we have it. Now, all we simply need to do here is right up here in the Options bar, I'm just going to click on the Live Trace button. It's going to look at that and basically vectorize this graphic. But you see it doesn't necessarily turn it into. What we've got to do is go up here in the options once more and click the expand button. So now we've got a vector grunge pattern that we can use as part of that design inside of the magazine. Now it does have both black and white areas here. So if you go in here and go under ungroup, you can see that we can select certain parts. In fact, I'm going to grab my direct select tool, select that part, and you can see it's got a white fill on it. So let me double column my toolbar there. So we've got a white fill on that. I'm going to go into the Select menu, go to Same, and choose Same Fill Color. So any other little spots that are still filled with white, it's going to select those, and I'm going to simply hit Delete.
Because all you really want is the black that's there. So.
Exactly. So now we have a nice pattern. I'm just going to group that back together, so now we can continue on with that design. So for that particular reader, and if you out there don't necessarily have CS4 yet with those custom shapes, this is an alternative so you can continue to work with that tutorial.
Awesome.
So,
Very cool. Thanks, Corey.
Yep.
All right, well, it's time for us to take a break, so we'll be right back in just a couple of moments.
Stay with us.
Kelby Training is really known for great online training and got lots of classes on all sorts of topics: web, photography, design. What many people don't realize is that we have a ton of titles all about video. Teach you how to use Photoshop to make graphics to work with video, Final Cut Pro, Apple Color for doing color grading and image manipulation, Apple Motion for motion graphics, as well as stuff that covers After Effects. So we got things for graphic designers. We've got you covered. These tools should be fun to you. The world of video is great, and if you're brand new to this, it's okay. You could jump in too and learn how the pros do things. My job is to help you have fun and get your job done quicker, getting the job done fast. My name's Rich Harrington. I've made my background doing all sorts of types of video. So let me help you have fun again by showing you new things that maybe you didn't know how to do and help you have a good time doing it.
So we're back. And now, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about how to use Slideshow Pro inside of Lightroom and Dreamweaver together.
Okay.
Right. Because some time ago I did a video review on Slideshow Pro, and if you don't know it, basically what these guys do is they provide you this type of slideshow. Right? You can build it inside of Flash, or you can build it inside of Lightroom. So it's pretty straightforward, right? You can go to Slideshow Pro over here, and it's like something like 39 bucks. I like using it because I don't necessarily want to build all of that stuff inside of Dreamweaver or inside of Flash. I just want to be able to take something, grab it, and put it inside of a website. But here's a problem, right? Here I am in my web module inside of Lightroom 2, and I have all of my images set up here. I have Slideshow Pro installed, and I've built this gallery, right? So it's pretty straightforward. You click, and it looks pretty good. Now, the problem with this is this. If you take this and you export this out, what's going to happen is you're going to see something that looks like so. I'll go to my directory here where I have that set up. I'm just going to go ahead and load this index file. And watch, if I resize,
Centered to the
right,
document.
it's centered to the document. Right? And that's, I think, going to cause a problem if I put this inside of a template. Now, watch this. I'm going to take this file, this gallery file that I've outputted, and I'm going to put it inside of this website. So I'm just going to single click on it. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go to the website, and I'm going to paste that in there. Now, once I paste that in there, I'll go ahead and I'll start Dreamweaver. And inside of Dreamweaver, I'll define a website. Right? So I'm going to go to Manage Sites. I'm going to make a new website. And this website, let's just call it sample site. And the local root folder for this is going to be that directory that I have there. Right, so I'm going to go over to my IRC stuff. I'm going to go over here. And here's the website. And I'll select that and I'll click OK. And done when I'm done. So here's the sample website that I have set up. And just to kind of show you what I'm doing here, I'll go to my index page. I already have some buttons set up. I have some text set up, and all of this stuff is based on a Dreamweaver template that I have set up here with an editable region here in this area. Right? So nothing really out of the ordinary. But watch. If I come over here to the gallery, I'm going to open up this file, index.html. It has the code that says, look, this is going to be the slideshow that you're going to see. I'm going to go to my assets, and I'm just going to drag my template into this. And I want to map the body, the content that's inside of this body, I'm going to map it to my editable region. And I'm going to take the head, and I'm going to map the head information to the head portion of the document. Usually that's the spot where you have scripts that are being loaded. I'm going to click OK. And watch what happens here. I'm going to preview this in Firefox, and I'll go ahead and I'll save these changes. I'll click OK. But watch.
Still doing the,
Throws everything off, right? So, and this is going to be a big problem because I don't want it to be all the way over here. I want it to be within the confines of this one section. So I don't like that. Let's go ahead and change that. I'm going to undo a couple times, make sure that I don't save any of that stuff, right? Go back to the spot where I was in the beginning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Code View. And inside of Code View, what happens is when they generate this gallery is generated with something here called SwiftFit. SWF fit. And basically, it's just this JavaScript that allows you to be able to fit that Swift file depending on the sizes of specific browsers. So it adjusts accordingly and positions accordingly, which is normally a good thing, but not a good thing if I'm trying to include it inside of a Dreamweaver base layout. So this call that it's making to that Swift fit, I'm going to delete. Conversely, I'm also going to go down here to this one section where it says Swift fit sizing, and I'm going to drag this, and I'm going to delete this as well. But be very careful, because this one is actually creating a div with an ID of Flash content. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here to this one section, and I'm going to delete this as well. Now, you'll see here, inside of the body, you have div ID of Flash content, and then this Slideshow Pro requires all of this information. So inside of my file here, inside of my template, I'm going to want to make an ID for this of Flash content. So I'm going to open up my template, and over here, I'm just going to add a new CSS rule. The CSS rule that I'm going to add is going to be an ID, and it's going to be an ID of Flash content. And I'm going to click OK. Inside of here, I'm going to make the box for this whatever I want it to be. So let's say if I want it to be 640 by, I don't know, I'm going to make it be 400 for now, 500 for now. And then I'm going to float this over to the left. All this is doing is just creating a box that you're going to use for that slideshow. I'm going to click OK. I have it set up there. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to close it. It's going to save the CSS of the site styles as well. And now, again, same thing. I'm going to grab and drag onto the empty document, and I'm going to move content region there. Head region goes to the head. I click OK. Now it puts all of this stuff in the beginning. Now, if I preview this, I'm going to save my changes here. Click OK. Take a look.
Look at that.
So it sits right in the center of it. But there's still a couple more problems here. Like you notice that this was white, right? That's actually coming through. I'm just going to quit this. This part right here that's white is coming through from this document that was created, the Slideshow Pro export. So if I drag this down, you'll see that there's a style, an inline style that sits inside of that document called body. And if you highlight that, that's where the background, the height, and the width are coming from. I really don't need any of that. I'm just going to trash all of it. Now it goes back to my default background. And if I save that back in Firefox, right, straightforward.
Yep.
Now I have everything exactly where I want it. I could take this a step further if I want and just go to the container ID that I have set up here. And under the box, I'll just uncheck the margin. Now let's just say I put in 10 for left, 10 for right of a percentage. Apply that. And now if I save this, it kind of pushes everything in towards the center of the page.
Nice, nice.
So it doesn't just kind of like float to the corner, and I have all of the information, right? Everything pretty much works, and I've taken the gallery. Again, the galleries are great in of themselves, right? And they're awesome for you to be able to use, but a lot of the times I'm like, you know what? Don't put any bells, don't put any buttons, any whistles. I'm gonna go ahead and draw all of that stuff around it in Dreamweaver. Just give me what I need. I just need the gallery. I'll go ahead and I'll do all of that stuff. And thankfully, with a little bit of code tweaking, Slideshow Pro does a really, really good job at getting that up and running.
That's awesome.
So,
Very
but that's
cool.
pretty much it.
I love that. Great product.
Yeah.
A
We're
great
fans.
tip. I mean,
We're
like you
fans.
say, they do generate great galleries on its own, but to be able to incorporate it into a site is that makes it that much better.
And I think that that's the plus.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
So,
all right, so what do we got? You've got a couple of news and notable things, right? We
yeah,
want
just
to
a
talk
couple
about.
of things. Yeah, let's.
First thing is your Kelby training class.
Kelby training, yes. My Illustrator Photoshop creative integration just launched, so just last week. So if you want to check that out, it's very cool stuff. You got some new ones as well.
That's
of
right.
course,
I have
yeah.
2 classes that are out there. As a matter of fact, let me see, so that I'm not guessing, let me go over to the Kelby training website and tell you what they actually have online for myself and for you. Photoshop CS4 for beginners, right? It's one of the highest rated
One of the highest
classes.
rated, yes, absolutely.
So definitely a
Psyched
good
about
thing
that,
here.
yeah. Mhm.
Let me go over here. Let's go ahead and check Mr. Corey Barger. Creative integration with Photoshop and Illustrator. Take a look at that. 20 lessons and not very long. I mean, and that's one of the things. You want to make sure that you get into Kelby training, because Kelby training gives you some tutorials where you can learn different things, and it's kind of like all the stuff, none of the fluff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We
You know,
want to
stuff you're going to use.
You're going to get
Yeah.
in, you're going to get out, you're going to learn what you need to learn.
Exactly.
Design effects, all right?
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a pretty good class. I'd like to check that out. And there's the CS4 for beginners.
Beginner,
Layer
styles, mini
styles.
course, absolutely.
I like this one right here. I'm a big fan of this one, Mastering the Pen Tool.
Yes.
If you use Photoshop, if you use Illustrator, you need to know the pen tool. This is the place for you to go. Starting from scratch, I like that. Honey Stick 2, what's that?
It's a little illustrator trick, you know, little illustration trick there, creating a honey stick, you know.
Awesome.
A little bit of 3D and Photoshop in that. So
Very, very cool. All right, so let me just go ahead and take a look at what I got over here. I'm particularly excited about a couple of classes that I have. Let's see. Right, we have the Flash CS4 for beginners, right? If you've never used Flash and you have CS4, this is a great place for you to start.
They're a great place to start. Yeah.
Also, pretty straightforward. Building a website with Photoshop and Dreamweaver. If you know a little bit of Dreamweaver and you know a little bit of Photoshop and you want to put them together to be able to build a website, this is where you're going to go.
It's one of
Matter
those
of
times,
fact,
it's one of those times when the title says it all, right?
that's
there.
it. I just, look,
You know.
you guys want to know how to build a website? This is how you do it.
Exactly.
And look down here at the bottom. I do include also how to be able to use galleries from Tilt Viewer and Simple Viewer in the Photoshop side as well as the Lightroom side. So it does even cover a little bit of Lightroom. If you happen to have that as well, you can go ahead and use that.
Excellent.
You have a cloning and healing short course. You have a Flash 101 for Flash CS3 people. Dreamweaver level 1, and coming soon, I'll also have a Dreamweaver CS4 level 1 class. So if you know nothing about Dreamweaver, you can pretty much get in, get out, and build a website.
Not only that, a fair amount of the content you've seen in these you're looking at these courses, we're going to be teaching live at Photoshop.
At Photoshop World. PhotoshopWorld.com. Do you have that up?
Yes, I do.
Let's see. 3 full days of training. And one of the things that I like about Photoshop World is the great amount of community that you have inside of there. You have some of the best instructors on the planet. You have all these people that get together. And
Coming from so many different disciplines that you can learn stuff that you've never even considered, you know, video, web, artists, designers. I mean, every type of person, Photoshop artist is there. So
all right, so the Photoshop World Conference, right? That's 25th through the 7th at the Heinz Convention Center, March 25th through March 27th.
the very cold Boston.
In the very cold Boston, Massachusetts. I love Boston. Boston's a great city.
Love
so
that city, yeah.
I'm loving it. All right, the last thing that I want to mention is the Voices That Matter conference. VoicesThatMatter.com is hosting a conference, right? This is presented by New Writers over at the Grand Hyatt in San Francisco, April 27th through the 30th of 2009. If you want to be able to start working on web design and you want to look at the latest trends, you want to look at getting up to speed with web design, this is the place to be.
Absolutely.
And I'm teaching a conference. I'm actually teaching a pre-conference. Take a look at this website here. Right, early bird pricing, make sure that you register, blah, blah, blah. Here's all of the speakers. I mean, amazing people, right? So you have Carolyn Chandler, right? I'm looking forward to that. Right, Steve Krug, right? If you might not know Steve Krug, he's the author of Don't Make Me Think, which great book, right? Stephanie Sullivan, big fan of Stephanie Sullivan. She has got a book that she did with Greg Ruiz on Dreamweaver, which I think is an absolute must book.
Richard Harrington.
Richard Harrington is there, right? Aaron Walters there. So there's a lot of information that's going to be all under one roof. All these people's minds that you can go listen, pick their brains, and do all sorts of stuff.
Really
now,
great.
I have a pre-conference that I'm doing there. And basically, there's this entire conference that they're running, right? And CSS, HTML, web, all of that kind of stuff. If you're not kind of sure about CSS, you're not kind of sure about web design, and you're kind of getting up to speed with all of that stuff, my pre-conference, right, it's 2 3.5-hour classes, is going to take you from start to finish, teach you all of the things you need to know. What's CSS? What's HTML? How do you build a website? How do you leverage all of the stuff in the Creative Suite together
Right.
to be able to get a website together?
Absolutely.
So at the end of the pre-conference, you can kind of go, all right, cool, I got it. I'm ready to go attend the conference,
Excellent.
which that's kind of what a pre-conference is.
Yes, exactly. You'll be that much more equipped for the conference.
Exactly.
You don't even need the rest of the conference after this course is done.
I think that you do need the conference, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you got to get yourself ready, and I think that's going to be the great place to be able to do it. April 27th to the 30th, Grand Hyatt, San Francisco. So stop by, voicesthatmatter.com.
Awesome. Well,
Now-
before we jump to the contest, I just want to throw in one quick thing for myself here. PlanetPhotoshop.com. We just launched a new design contest, tutorial contest, so go over there and check it out. Planet Photoshop. Very, very cool, very excited. It's our 3rd contest. We're having a big success with it, so we've getting a lot of entries, and very cool prizes, so definitely check that out.
That's
So,
free. All you got to do is just design stuff, submit it, and it's free.
it's too easy.
I
Too
like
easy.
it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
So, let's talk about the contest. I What kind of prizes we're going to do? Well, of course we're going to have.
I think we have to do a 1-year subscription to Layers Magazine.
the layers.
And-
the magazine got up and ran away, so
I think it did.
we went past its working time, so it left. But
However, I think we still have another time. We still have some time to be able to give away a pass.
Shop World Pass, of course.
Obviously, a pass. No airfare. No hotel. We
Exactly.
have to say that because people always email in. They're saying, "Well, does it include hotel?" No,
No.
it's just the pass.
Just the conference pass, which is a big savings, of course, because it can get up there. But the question is, earlier in the show, I mentioned the managing editor of Layers Magazine. I need you to tell me his name.
Now, you can also get that at the Layers Magazine website if you kind of look around at the About Us section.
Look
at the
around,
bottom.
look in the magazine itself, look at the front right there. What you're going to do is go into the Layers Magazine website, drag to the bottom, go to the Contact Us section, go down, make sure that you select Layers TV Contest in the pull-down menu, enter your name, email, and the answer to that very simple question. So
Very, very cool.
I like it. So
think
I
we're
believe
pretty
that wraps it up for this week. We do want to thank you guys for joining us this week. That's RC.
That's Gory.
See you next time.
Take care.